Yeah, that's scary. Yo, 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 yo. Yeah, that's scary.
Top 5 dead alive, only came to terrify. Every topic scary, we can lead the bravest paralyzed. Hope you're not at home alone, better keep the lights on. But if you love adrenaline, then welcome to the fright zone. Billy is the leader, the visionary dreamer. Gerard got the joke, scaredy cat the screamer. You gon' get this work, if you scared, go to church. This podcast is scariest, you heard it here first.
And he said that to me because I was like, I'm just excited that Jeepers Creepers is here. You know, I want to see the character again. But when because he's a huge lover of Jeepers Creepers.
Yo, 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 yeah, that's scary. Yo, 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 yeah, that's scary. Yo, 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 yeah, that's scary. Yo, 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 yeah, that's scary.
You're muted. You're muted.
All right. Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Yup, That's Scary. I was muted for a second, but it's okay. Technical difficulties, but we holding it down here in the studio at Yup, That's Scary. This is your number one Halloween horror and haunted house podcast coming to you live right now, talking about Sir Henry Haunt. And I'm so excited just to talk about all the different things of Haunt and the themes and whatnot. And I'm just going to just bring in my co-host right now. Come on in, Gerard. How you doing?
How you doing today?
I'm doing really good. That was pretty loud. Our doorbell is like really, really, really loud right now.
Don't lie. Don't lie. It's okay to cry about the Eagles.
Why you gotta bring this up, man? Like, I was not trying. Look, I'm glad Brent is not on right now because he was going for the Kansas City Chiefs and dude, like I don't even want to talk about it. Why are you gonna bring this up, man? Like, you just ruined my day. I was doing so fine.
You get it.
Bro, I was so mad. I cleaned the whole house. I went downstairs, did the dishes, did the kitchen floor.
Eagles.
I was like, I had to get it out. I had to get it out, man. If you guys are watching, man, I was talking a whole bunch of mess, and now I'm humbled. I'm so humbled right now because the Eagles did not win and they were doing so well. It was a good game. And I don't
absolutely a good game. That was very fun to watch. It was a nail biter at some points.
Right.
And you know what? You got to appreciate it was a good game. You know, at least it was. I think I'd rather watch a good game than a blowout one way or the other. And, you know, I didn't really have a dog in the race, but I supported the Eagles this time. You know, I was cheering on with you.
Look, we're still flying high. You know what I'm trying to say? We're still flying high.
But that was absolutely a good game. I had a good time watching it. Well, actually, let me rephrase it. I didn't have a great time watching because I was at work. But, you know, we cut that TV on at the hospital.
Yes. You put all those old people to bed and turned on that TV. Can I say that?
No,
I don't know.
No, actually, we stayed up. We all like nobody's. I ain't doing my job. We literally did a terrible job for like the first 2 hours of work because the Super Bowl was on.
It was the Super Bowl. Everything is okay with the Super Bowl, so I understand.
Hey, the patients didn't care. They're like, yeah, let's watch this.
Right. Listen. I was halftime. I was feeling good. The Eagles was up. I was dancing with Rihanna. She's pregnant now. She's pregnant again.
And she got on that stage.
Yes. Well, she wasn't so far along that she couldn't. You know, it wasn't a risk factor, but she was still. She's pregnant again, and all those dancers in the white. I swear that was freaking. What's his name? The rapper's boyfriend, A$AP Rocky's. No, A$AP Rocky's sperm babies. They were all running on that field. I was like, they got sex demons in them. I'm sorry. I gotta keep it real. But anyways, we're not here. Roses are red, violets are blue. Sir Henry Haunt is coming for you. We are here right now. we got a lot to talk about. And listen, it's 2023. And there's so much happening in the haunt world, so much happening in the horror community, and so much happening in the Halloween community. And I'm so blessed to be able to cover. I think I said we're blessed to cover all the above because there's so much to talk about and there's so much things to do. But we want to talk about just a haunt in particular in Florida that is doing that. First of all, the marketing is superb, and they're innovative, and they're trying, and they're just doing things that's just making sense. But what do you think about haunts branching out of their business, Gerard, and bringing new IPs, new events to their repertoire?
I mean, it's absolutely genius. You're sitting there. Let's say you own the land. I'm just using outdoor attraction because that's what we're going to be talking about. If you own the land, what is it? 10 months basically out the year, it's useless. Not useless, but it's unused.
Yeah.
So why don't you specifically, change a couple things up? If you have a large parking lot, throw a flat stage up there, do a music festival. That's easy.
Right.
Do some other stuff with it, and then take advantage. I've seen haunted houses now doing Halloween themed weddings. They build their sets to last out in the weather, or to have indoor attractions.
Right. The wedding's been happening for a very long time. You got a lot of fans out there that's like, hey, I want to do a wedding here, and it is okay to charge for a wedding. You get a couple of $1,000s and have a horror wedding out there. I think it's awesome. I did one. I thought it was weird at first, but I was like, okay, let's do it, But this particular haunt in the UK took a little bit of our style and made it work for them and did a haunted attraction. Check it out.
That's like the rabbit commercial from the Super Bowl.
Right?
Yeah!
Dude, they're banging on that window a little bit too hard for me.
I love the idea what they did. This is probably during COVID's peak, right?
Probably.
We have that match.
I know.
I love pumpkin pole.
Pumpkin pole.
But I
International.
can't look. I love what they did to pivot, but God, I hate seeing haunted houses in the day.
Well, I don't think it was in the day. I think what they were doing is they were rolling in. It was becoming dusk, and they were rolling in and getting the car situated. But 13th Floor did something like that in California during 2020. But I think this is, even if it was done in 2020, I think this is cool just to have a company partner up with an inflatable movie screen, put on a horror movie, and then park. I just gave someone some idea. Someone's watching this is going to be like, yes, thank you. Thank you for listening to this tonight. Thank you so much. But we got lots to talk about. We got Sir Henry Haunt in the house, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited for Zach to be here to talk.
I'm so excited.
I know. The thing is, I've been a fan of theirs for so long, and I haven't had a chance to. We don't get a chance to go out, and I really want to go out and see his haunt live. But I know he gets a lot of media out there, and so I'm just so excited to have him today. Go ahead.
We've been trying to go to Florida together for so many times, and it's like we just every time something comes up, let it be work or whatever ordeal we've been dealing with. Like, no, we can't do it this weekend. I think one time we got close and it's like a hurricane hit.
Yeah. Oh yes, and we're like, we're not going. Nope. We did a Jordan Peele. Nope. We ain't doing that. I mean, they get some heavy UFO rain out there, but I'm excited to talk to Zach today. So here we go. Let's do it. Here is an ad for you.
National Haunted Attraction Industry Trade Show. Register now at fearexpolive.com.
Fear Expo Live is back, baby. March 23rd for the 26th in Owensboro, Kentucky. That's the 23rd of March for the 26th in Owensboro, Kentucky Convention Center. Fear Expo Live is the newest national haunted attraction industry trade show, bringing together haunters and vendors. They are dedicated to connecting attraction owners with the latest products and services from the industry-leading vendors. Earlier in the season, the shared products are delivered on time and ahead of schedule, and at some of the best prices around. And you can get more information at fearexpolive.com. Again, that's fearexpolive.com.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a good show. I'm excited for that. Transworld just freaking happened. That happened beginning of this month, and I heard some great, exciting news. But
how many people forget what they bought at Transworld? You know, they had a little too much at the Marriott, and they're like, "Oh, you're so-and-so's booth. I've been wanting this hammer. I'll get 7. Here's the credit card."
And then they're broke. They gotta go. Somebody.
I would do that if I was a vendor. I'll be at the Marriott with a brochure. I was getting right now 25% off right now, buddy.
24 hours, man. Hey, you got to make that money. Okay, so let's talk about Sir Henry Haunt. Sir Henry Haunt Haunted Trail is an outdoor haunted attraction located in Plant City in the heart of Central Florida between Tampa and Orlando. Founded in 2014, the 501c3 operates as a Halloween haunt as well as holding haunted mazes for fans to visit during the Christmas and Valentine's Day season. The 14-year park features multiple attractions, multiple interactive horror trails, escape games, laser tags, and of course roaming scare actors, axe throwing, delicious food, vendors, and diverse. I mean, I would say a diverse amount of merchandise. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in the man of the hour, Zach. Let's go.
What's up, guys? Good to be here.
Hey, how are you, sir?
Doing good.
Welcome to That's Scary's live studio, man. I'm so happy to have you on here. Look, I was just saying to Gerard that you guys are killing it. Let me say, your marketing is so superb. Like, you guys know how to make some noise in a whole bunch of noise. You guys like to cut through, and then seeing the media outlets and the YouTubers come to your event, and then they're showcasing like what you guys have. You guys are doing something right in Florida, and so I'm so excited. Hopefully, we're trying to go out there. We gotta like plan out our season. You know what I mean? And our goal is to go out to Florida in the beginning of September and hit up Universal Studios and hit up a few of these haunts in Florida. But I'm excited, and I'm excited to put you guys on the list because I want to see what's going on, Sir Henry. So a little bit about yourself. Let the world know who is Zach.
Yeah, so I'm the Sir Henry Haunted Trail. Been doing this for almost 10 years now. We started with just one little trail in the woods, and we've grown it to what it is today. We've got 3 haunted trails, 2 escape rooms, laser tag, axe throwing, and more to come this year. This is going to be our 10th season. And we've got some big plans for that. So this is definitely the year to put us on your list to come see us.
Okay, wait. So hold on. I gotta jump in. You said you got some big plans, and now you're on That's Scary. We like to be the ones to kind of give the exclusive on these big plans. Could you share a little bit about the big plans?
I can't say specifically what it is, but we will probably most likely be adding a 4th attraction.
Let's go! Shots fired! Let's go! Really? Wow! So you have 3 now, and then you're gonna have another one.
We have 3 haunted trails now. We're gonna add a 4th attraction. Might not necessarily be a haunted trail. So I'll just kind of leave room for what that might be.
There is a private chat if you just want to message us and let us know. Give us a little sneak peek. We won't say nothing. We swear.
It's going to be cool. It's going to be very innovative what we do. You guys were talking about that earlier. And we're going to make this pretty spectacular. It's kind of like our big bang for our 10th season. So.
Doesn't it seem like you blinked and it's been 10 years? Because when you said 2014, I was like, okay, you've been open a couple of years, and you said 10th year. I'm like, oh my God, that is right. It's almost 10 years ago. 2014 was around.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's great to think about. It just kind of all blends together after a while.
oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
How big is your playing field of
So
for
we've
rate?
got almost 10 acres here. So, between it's kind of broken up half and half. Half is for parking, half of the other space is for, the trails itself, the infrastructure, and everything else. So there's a lot of untapped, untapped space that we haven't used, and that's kind of what's allowing us to add a potentially fourth attraction for this year.
So when you got the land, when you got the land, how was it? Was it all forestry? Was it kind of open plains? Like,
Yeah, so interesting. It's been in our family for 60 plus years.
Wow.
My great grandfather owned this land, and it's been passed down from generation to generation. Um, it's a very accessible spot for everybody because we literally sit right on Interstate 4 between Tampa and Orlando, so it's extremely easy to access. But
Nice.
we have a very big open parking lot, and kind of the back half of our property is all woods and forest trees, whatever you want to call it. And that's what a lot of our guests love. They love the organic style of our setup, where it feels very authentic, like you're in the middle of a horror movie being chased through the woods by some deranged person.
now, when you're going,
Go ahead.
so what was the land? You said the land's been your family for 60 years, right? I'm not. What was it? What was it used before? Like, what were y'all using? You just had the 10
Well,
acres.
it was just pretty much just an open field. I know at one time my grandfather tried to farm orange trees, but a freeze killed him, and I know it's back in the late '60s. But yeah, he never had cows or anything. It was just a big open field. So
Oh, so it's kind of like a half open field, basically.
yeah, yeah. Me and my
What-
dad had always talked about doing something out here. Kind of when I was going into college, and then after I graduated, we finally committed to the idea of doing it.
Nice. Now it's a family business, right? This is a family business.
Yep, sure.
Was your father involved?
What's that?
Was your father involved when you opened up the haunt? Like,
Yeah,
came-
so it's kind of me and him went into it, opening up. Didn't really have any kind of expectation for what it could become. I'd grown up doing this at my parents' house. Putting on a home haunt through my teenage and college years. But we wanted to try our hand at doing something professionally. Didn't know what that exactly meant. So we came out here and we started doing what we do. And like I said, here we are. Just, I didn't know what I know now. Had I known that, things might look a little different. But I guess that's the wonderful thing about ignorance, I guess.
The answer to that question, Kathy, it is in Plant City, Orlando. How far is it from Orlando, Florida?
So we're about 45 minutes to an hour west of Orlando, depending where you live.
Sorry.
From Tampa, it's about a 20 to 30-minute drive east.
From Tampa. I'm sorry, I got all my cities mixed up here. As I'm
One
reading.
big Central Florida area there.
This is a haunted house podcast, not a geography.
You guys, I want to show you guys this haunt. Let me just show you guys how cool this is. Check it out, you guys. Whoa. Hold up. That was pretty cool. That is amazing. Did you guys shoot that yourself?
Yeah, so a good buddy of mine shot that. We produced that video ourselves. So that was our last October 2022
Teaser.
One of our trails was the Headless Horseman. That's something I'd always wanted to do. Nice. I always said I wouldn't do it unless we could get a live horse out here with an actor on it.
You got? Yeah, that's dope.
Found it. and so we made it happen, and that was everything you see was real and authentic. So
Now,
Go ahead, Gerard.
now
Go
that's
ahead.
something interesting. You know, I haven't seen a haunted house as they have. Like I've seen some places have like chickens and stuff before, but when you didn't have the live horse, like what was the
Yeah.
difficulties of trying to find? Because I seen one video of y'all. Yes, you had the horse out there. I think it was one of the what's the word for it? Media. It was a media night, and you brought it out. Do y'all typically do it on an average night? Bring out the horse? Like, do you have to have special protocols for that?
Yeah, so going into designing this and planning for this, I was like, okay, we're just going to have the horse kind of roam around this trail, make appearances. I don't really want it to go out into our like midway area. But the lady who owns the horse, her name is Pam. The horse is actually a rescue, so that's really cool.
Wow.
She was like, whatever you want to do with this horse, I'll make it happen. She had a chainsaw just revving it up in his face. I'm like, oh God.
Oh, she was committed.
Yeah, she's cool, but she's hardcore too. So
Yeah.
she's like, let's take it out in the midway area. These people need to see it. I'm like, all right, we'll try it out. So we had some handlers with it, and you know they were keeping people away from the horse. But he made with 2 loops every half hour, and people would just go crazy. Of course, who wouldn't? That's a headless horseman out there.
That's so.
So we did that every night. The Pam and George were out there every night. That's the horse's name. And people just ate it up, and it was so cool to see that. Because, like you said, how often do you see that at a haunted house?
Right, right. I mean, you got to go to Disneyland to see that, but like, I mean, here, I mean, come on. That's dope.
That must be a hell of a horse trainer. Like I even seen like police horses get spooked. You know, when they're in the like police horses, I've seen them in crowds and stuff walking around. And if you got to be on it.
Yeah, she had to condition that horse. Yeah,
that's kind of what I thought we would have to go the route of, like finding like a police horse that would want to do this, like off duty or something.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing ever really came to be with that. And fortunately enough, we found Pam. So
this is Officer Sugar Cube. He's also now an actor.
Stop.
Off duty. You said off duty horse cop. Okay.
Like pick up your costume, put it somewhere. All right, I want to talk about your 501c3. What is that about? You guys are a nonprofit organization.
So we are a nonprofit. All of our actors are volunteers. We have a great relationship with a lot of local high schools. So your honor society clubs, any kind of FFA clubs like that. We work with them, and we end up donating to their clubs, donating to a lot of the other events in the community as well as other charitable organizations. But yeah, it's a very, very cool thing we do. We're blessed to do what we do, but we're also fortunate enough to be able to give back to these different organizations.
Now, do you think that all haunts should be giving back or be inside their community doing some type of community works?
I think that depends on the haunt and the setup itself. I think giving back is a wonderful opportunity, and everybody should do it. But I'm not one to say who should do what with their thing.
Let's talk about your character. This is Sir Henry right here. How did that character come about and the concept?
Yeah, so that's interesting. So this is our Mickey Mouse character. I don't know if I can say that or not, but I am. So when I first went to say, okay, hey, we're going to do a haunted house professionally or whatever, I wanted to have an icon character that was extremely important to me. And I wanted something that could be transcendent over the years, no matter what theme we did, something that would represent Halloween, but also have a little bit of swagger to him. And this was a character I had created one of the years of the home haunts at my house. And I went back to him. I'm like, okay, he's a skeleton. He's got some cool, flares going on or whatever. I want to use him, but I didn't have a name. And so my dad suggested Sir Henry, which is the street I grew up on.
Nice.
That's kind of how that came to be. And so I was like, yeah, let's go with that. We'll call it Henry Comic Trail. And here we are.
That's cool. I've seen a lot of haunts that have icons. You got Netherworld as well out here in Atlanta. So do you think that it's really cool for a haunt to have an icon to brand with their name and with their attraction?
Yeah. So my background is in marketing and advertising.
Let's go. I knew it.
Yeah. So it was extremely important for me. I think haunts should have an icon character that somebody, guests can easily relate to the haunt with and connect with. And that's what Sir Henry is for us. Starting out, people are like, oh, well, who are you? I play Sir Henry, whatever, no secret there.
Let's go, Zach. Look. In my business, I don't like when our scare actors tell who they play. But let's go. That's you.
So,
Let's
two and two together. I tried managing, and I still manage. Don't get me wrong, but I tried just playing like a microphone manager for one of our family-friendly Christmas events. I'm like, nah, this ain't gonna work. I gotta act. So that's something I always make sure to do. But when we first started, people would be like, oh, who are you? And then you come out here now, and they're like, oh my God, Sir Henry, it's you. We got to get a picture. We love you. So it's really cool to see that fanfare. And to know that we've created this brand and this character that means so much to so many different people.
Yes. Are you going to develop a show for Sir Henry? Does he have his own attraction or an escape game or activity?
So each trail each year has its own different theme, and they change pretty much with every event. Fans have been asking for a Sir Henry specific trail, and this being year 10, they're probably going to get that.
Woo! Let's go. You heard it here, folks. We have a question here from Brent, one of our co-hosts. He says, what is some inspiration you can give other haunts that are just coming up? Ooh, starting out.
So great question. I always try to stay on the edge of what I think will be trendy, I guess, if that makes sense. But also, we've forged our own path. There's a few things I don't do. I don't do zombies. I don't do clowns, even though those are very popular things. I try not to go mainstream with our themes. I'm a big Edgar Allan Poe fan.
Nice.
Okay.
I stay away from like the IP stuff too. I want to create our own brand of IP stuff, if that makes sense. So I would just say, finding those niches and trends within the industry that a lot of people aren't doing to create interest and traction for your haunt is something that we found success in.
Now, I want to get back on a comment. You said you are a beautiful, beautiful man because you said you don't do clowns, you don't do zombies. That is amazing. I've been speaking upon this since day one. I love that. I hate doing clowns. I hate doing zombies, and I don't do rednecks because they're done into the dirt. So that is something I love to hear.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you feel as though it's a little bit challenging to come up with your own IPs or IPs that do make sense and are relevant to our market today?
Yeah, it is. There'll be periods of time where I have I've got like five different themes, 5 characters locked and loaded for these next events, and then once that's done, I'm like, what do we do now? There was a couple trails these past couple years. I'm like, I don't know what we can do because I know I don't want to do XYZ, but we also got to do something fresh because I don't like repeating myself. To this day, we haven't repeated a theme or storyline in anything we do. I talked about this on the podcast we do. We've designed over 29 different trails and stories since our inception, which I think is crazy. And they're all individual, unique characters, unique stories. Nothing's ever repeated.
So what is the storyline over Sir Henry?
The general storyline with Sir Henry is that he was a legendary freak show entertainer. He had this kind of, not circus, but he had a freak show. And then his beloved wife was murdered. And then shortly thereafter, Sir Henry supposedly died in a car crash. 3 years after that, he comes back in the form of a skeleton to seek vengeance on the murder of his bride. So it's kind of cool because the interesting thing about Sir Henry is he's not necessarily a villain, depending on which part of the story you're on. He's more of an anti-hero. And this battle he has with the murder of his bride and him is very much a Batman Joker kind of setup, which is what was intentional. I wanted it to be like that. So I think that also kind of separates us from a lot of traditional horror media.
It's interesting to say he's almost like an anti-hero because we just talked to God, his name is slipping my brain. He was just here yesterday, Willie. Mama.
Matthew Patrick Davis. Yes,
we just talked to Matthew Patrick Davis. You know, you got to say the whole name. You can't just say Matthew. Yeah. But we just talked to him, and he portrayed the character Mama off of Barbarian, and his character was similar to an anti-hero. It wasn't really a villain, just due to her nature, she was a villain, and I find that very interesting and something unique. Where was I going with this? I had an idea, and it's unique. Building an anti-hero, it's almost like you can sympathize and make a likable villain. Yeah. So was that the main goal of creating Sir Henry?
Yeah, I wanted, like I said earlier, I wanted people to recognize and love this character. And, you know, people love, you know, your Michael Myers or Jason, straight up villains. But I wanted his motivation to be different. You know, I wanted it to be that of vengeance, almost, you know, like a John Wick thing or something almost. Right. With the horror overlay on top of that. Because, and I didn't want it to be something as stupid as, like, you know, Freddy versus Jason or anything like that. But I think it can be done well and done right, and that's what we try to do. So
that's nice because I feel like, you know, even with victims of circumstances, they have to find some type of redemption and hero journey to go on, and that's what Sir Henry is on. That's pretty cool.
Let's found in his afterlife.
Yeah, let's talk about the design aspects of things. This was a trail fully wooded. What some of the processes that you had to come to kind of develop and condition the land?
Yeah, so there's a shot of our haunted mansion. We actually rebuilt that in 2021. But yeah, when we first started, like I said, it was just, you know, all open. You know, we created a path through the woods, but then we tried to build sets in the woods. And one of the big things I discovered early on was it was very hard to scare guests with big open scenes. So over the years, we've kind of compacted that in. We've eliminated a lot of the big lines of sight, and you'll still have a couple scenes where, you know, it's a little more open. But in those scenes, there's just so much going on, you don't know where to look. So that has been a challenge, you know, just eliminating those big open spaces and creating tighter lines of sight. Each trail is kind of stylistically its own thing. Here, we call this our second trail, our haunted mansion, and that's more traditional, like if you were walking through a indoor haunted house type of setting. That's what you'll find here. And then our trail that's going to be to the left of it on our property is what we call our first trail, and that's more like in the woods. You'll go through some very interesting architecture. It's very kind of New England style, or if you've ever been to like the downtown historic part of St. Augustine, reminds you of a lot of that. And then we have our third trail, which is kind of a hybrid of both of those things, where it has woods aspects, but it also has different kind of shacks and buildings and lean-to barns that you go through. But it also happens to be a nautical fishing wharf as well. So a lot of different styles of set design that go on. You know, we start planning most of the time before our October event even ends. The plans we're going to start building on and working on, we've been working on for the past couple of months now. So
now, Zach, do you feel though that the design aspects of a trail is much easier than a modular attraction?
I think both have its pros and cons. Being outdoors in Florida, we fight a lot with the weather.
Yeah, you do.
You know, hurricanes earlier. That was kind of a stressful thing for us, as we had Hurricane Ian come through a couple days before we were supposed to open.
Wow.
So fortunately, you know, we didn't have really any crazy damage. We were blessed by that, but you know, we also have to take that into consideration when we're building everything, because that is a possibility.
We built that strong.
Yeah. So we have to.
So, what are some of the processes that you have to do to prepare for a hurricane if you're building in Florida or a hurricane or tornado territory? What would you
Yeah,
have to do?
so the mansion you see on screen, that's built pretty much the foundation out of telephone poles that are sunk about 7 foot to the ground. So
Wow.
not too much we got to do. The work's already done on it. Um, but other little stuff, it might just be bracing or taking it down. And for us, it was basically a couple days before we opened. So we had to take down pretty much everything that we had spent all of September putting up, as far as like props and bodies and signage and banners. So
Wow.
it was crazy because I think that Monday we took it all down. The hurricane hit Tuesday, Wednesday. We were supposed to open Friday. We pushed it back to Saturday. So between Thursday, Friday, we put everything back up. Huge
Wow.
headache, but also we didn't want to chance it of 50-50, the risk of more damage than what we actually had and having to build and recreate everything. Or worst case, pushing back or opening a whole week and a half.
So let me ask you this. The way you're talking and stuff. Are you leaving? Do you build your structures, or at least certain parts of your scene, to stay up basically year round, such as the mansion and stuff?
Yeah, everything.
Now,
90% of everything stays up year round.
okay, so you got to build this stuff strong and able. So what basically your wrap up season's kind of like, all right, let's get all the animatronics, we get the props, let's get them to safe storage and stuff. So you really build your stuff to really stay up year round. Do you find it that you have to now, especially what you do on a Valentine's Day event? Do you do any other holidays real quick?
Christmas, we do a Christmas.
Christmas, yeah.
So when you come into that, the typical haunt builder, their mind says, okay, all my stuff is going to go out, props, animatronics. The build season happens, especially for outdoors, is typically done about a month out, if not more. So do you find yourself, you're now like building this stuff, like, okay, we had to prepare for this thing to sit out there and coming up with it's got to stay out longer than the average haunted attraction. You're going until Valentine's Day, so your wrap-up season's what, March?
So we're actually going to start building next week, and we're going to be preparing, like I said earlier, fourth attraction. But we spend a good 7-8 months out of the year just preparing for the October event, building and creating all the new stuff. And it's a lot of work, but like I said earlier, we change everything all the time, constantly. Nothing's ever the same. We do that to stay fresh and relevant.
I like that.
There you are. I'm glad I found you. You are all in very serious danger. I will guide you to safety. But I need you to do exactly as I say. You know that you are special. With my help, you could become extraordinary.
Help us. Help me.
So I want to talk about your marketing. Your marketing is superb, and your merchandising is superb as well. You mentioned that you have a podcast, and we're going to kind of bounce through that. But like your merchandise and your marketing, let's talk about that. What would a haunt have to do to market and get to the market, to their targeted market?
Yeah, so one of the things we started early on that I'm still a believer in, even though it's kind of the market looks different now, is Facebook and digital advertising. That has been so crucial for our success and sustained success. That's where our bread and butter has been. I didn't do a lot of traditional advertising and marketing as far as like, okay, print ads or billboards. We do billboards, but it's digital billboards. It just it's more affordable for us, and it still, I think, has the same impact. But a lot of our approaches to everything was just guerrilla marketing, and being kind of in a market where you have Hallow Scream at Busch Gardens and Universal Halloween Horror Nights. How do you stand out? How do you reach customers with those two, titans of the industry?
Right.
You have to be different. You have to find creative ways to reach your customers. And I think everything we do is a part of that, and it's channeled through our marketing. We do a media night and that's what you see a lot of the YouTube vloggers and
Mhm.
Instagram bloggers. They come out and get to see an exclusive first look at our event. I think that's been huge for us. Um, but like I said, too, digital advertising, the social media channels, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all those things, Twitter, have been crucial to our success.
Now, do you think a hot owner should give an actor who's like really savvy with TikTok their phone and say, "Hey, make me some TikToks," or should it be more planned out, organized, scripted? Like, what do you think about that?
So I don't run our TikTok. I have one of our media team members actually run TikTok because I don't know. I think I'm too old for that. I can't figure that out. But as far as I don't know. I think if it was the right situation where the actor could be trusted, then yeah. But for some, you know, just off the cuff actor, maybe
Yeah.
not.
Well, are you trying to call somebody out?
Yes, I'm trying to call some haunts out. Don't do that because not all of them get it.
And it should look professional too. It shouldn't just be like some
Right.
stole the owner's phone and just going crazy now.
Yeah. Right. And
No, or
some,
on the actor's phone.
right, but I've seen some of it, and then they will persuade the owner, and the owner's like, "Okay, cool," and it's like, no, 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 no. Everything should be purposeful and intentional. I think in marketing, you want to make sure that you can make it measurable too, so that you can say, "Hey, what works, what doesn't work." You don't want to give someone your phone and like, "Hey, let's just make it happen." But I just wanted to shots fired on that one. But I just wanted to just ask you on that, and you sound like you know what you talk about on there. Let's talk about your merchandise. You have a lot. I've never seen a haunt
With a
with
book.
so much to give to their fans and to their guests. Let's talk about that. How did that come about, and what's the brainchild behind all that?
Yeah, so just kind of all goes back to the branding and marketing of it all. Having certain iconic characters, not just Sir Henry, carries through everything we do. So we have this huge gift shop. We have an online store, from different T-shirt designs. But talking about also we have two novels, two books that are out.
Yes, which is crazy.
That you can buy on Amazon. They go through a fictional story of Sir Henry and his characters, and that's actually going to be a trilogy. So the third book's going to come out this fall. So that's awesome.
I love it.
We've got beanies, we've got socks, anything and everything, shot glasses. We partner with a local winery here in Plant City called Kill and Curly, and they produce a hard cider for us called Sir Henry's
Nice.
Twisted Apple Cider. So that's real cool. Anything to get our name on a product that guests will like and can take home and relate to, we're going to do it.
I love this cider.
Is the cider the can that has your logo on it? Is that what that? Okay, wow!
Is it gluten free?
I
Grab it.
saw that last year or
Yeah.
2 years ago, and I was like, whoa! I was literally like floored because it was so cool and it's so innovative. You're creating these pipelines and expansions with your brand in so many different areas to get to more bases and more views, which will help competing with these titans like Universal or Busch Gardens. Have you seen have your merchandise have created year round sales for you, or is it just particularly in October?
I mean, we just have on our online store on our website. We just really have the T-shirts up there. We don't have the back end yet of like all this other stuff on there, but it definitely helps keep it relevant. We even have playing cards now too with icon characters. Pretty cool.
That's dope.
We're going to slap Sir Henry on everything.
Yeah,
From a
we
book.
literally are.
We're
gonna
going
have
to slap him on everything. We're going Sir Henry TP 2024. I'm calling it now.
Let's
We're
do
going to have.
I mean,
Now-
well, they use their park for film locations too. So, is that something that is a benefit with your attraction, and should other attractions do that as well, using their property for other things?
Yeah, so last year we had two independent films. I think it was two. Yeah, two independent films, Pumpkin Man and Harlow's Haunt, come out and film at our location. They used our sets and backdrops. And, I was more than happy to let them come out and, have support for their for them and their film, and then for us too as our location and haunted house. So anybody that wants to come out and use our location for backdrop, we're always building new sets. I encourage that, and I encourage other haunted houses to do the same thing, because I think it's such a unique thing, and the whole film industry in itself is, in horror specifically, is it's something that's close to my heart too.
So let me ask you this. What's the difference between your attraction October to Valentine's? Do you decorate it up? Do you maybe change some of the stories and stuff? Is it what's going on with it? Is there like a sub story line going on during Valentine's Day?
So the Valentine's Day event's called Love's Revenge,
Mm-hmm.
and we kind of try to build the stories based around that theme. And again, we have 3 haunted trails, but normally for Christmas and Valentine's, we just open 2 of them. It's just easier for us with the turnaround and the holidays that are actually going on.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have some new characters. We have characters that are specific just for the Christmas and Valentine's Days events. So if you want to see them or interact with them, you have to come to those events, because they won't be here during October.
Some exclusivity, I see.
So we try to do that. So yeah.
So
Tampa J is a huge fan.
Yeah, he's a good friend of ours. He's a huge fan. We love Tampa J. Yeah, he's a super nice guy.
So let me ask you this. Is the wife's murder in the haunt, and is it public knowledge, or is it like, because I'm unfamiliar with the backstory a lot, because you just had to describe it. Is the wife's murder in the haunt? Is it public knowledge who did it?
It didn't used to be, but now that we kind of have the books and everything out there, it is kind of, I would say, public knowledge, although I kind of wanted to keep it a mystery. But it's basically, we have this character called the Boogeyman, real sophisticated name. And the mystery is you don't know who that character is. And if you want to know who that character is, you got to read the book. So.
Now, do you find a book being so descriptive? Do you guys take some of the things out and add these nuggets into your scenes and to your sets to kind of be like, Easter eggs?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So
there are elements we do with that to an extent, but most of the time, I think the way Brad and Amanda, the authors of the book, and I have kind of set it up is. Whatever I create, they kind of bring into the fold with the book. So it's kind of playing, I don't want to say catch up, but essentially.
How did that come about? Like, did a fan approach you, a family member, or did you hey, I want a book written around Sir Henry?
Yeah,
that's interesting, because going back to, the marketing and merchandising, I anything we can get our name on, I'm for. And I've been saying I want to do a book or something, but I'm not about to write a book. I'm not an author. I'm not a writer. So when all this was going on, I think it was 2021, one of our super fans, Amanda Rosenblatt, who I know, they've been coming out to the event for a couple of years now. They moved from California, and they approached me like, hey, we got this crazy idea, but me and my husband are writers, and we'd love to write a book for and about Sir Henry. I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect.
Yeah.
So we had a creative meeting and a brainstorming session about how this would look, how it would work. And they're super awesome, super nice people. So, 9 months later, we give birth to the first Sir Henry book. So that was awesome to see.
Was it scary taking your baby and okay, write a book about it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I didn't know what to expect, especially, like I said, being my baby, being my brainchild, giving that responsibility off to somebody else to carry through with what I saw fit was very scary. But all those fears were washed away when we had our first real sit-down meeting, because I basically interviewed them. And I was like, okay, tell me your understanding and your perspective of Sir Henry and his characters and the world itself and how it relates to what I envision. And the way they reacted and responded to everything, I'm like, okay, I don't have to worry about anything. And then they started sending me, the chapters to read. I'm like, this is perfect. Like it's like you were living in my head or something. So
Right.
it just all worked out so perfectly. And like I said, we're planning for the third book to be released this fall for completion of the trilogy.
That's awesome. Congratulations on that. Let's talk about the operations real quick.
Yeah,
So how many actors are we looking at? Crew and what is your rehearsal process like?
yeah. So on a given night in October, I'd say we have anywhere from 48 to 60 actors, somewhere in that ballpark, depending.
Nice.
Um, and then we have a backstage staff of probably 15 to 20 people, depending on the night. Our rehearsal process is pretty rigorous, I guess. We try to we'll have a lead character audition like early in the spring, like April, and that kind of sets up actors who've been here for a while for more prominent roles, and then also helps us cast those characters for our video and promo shoots around July. And then
Nice.
August, September, we'll have a series of actor workshops and trainings and safety trainings for everybody that they have to go through. And then come September, we'll have probably 3 or 4 days of just straight rehearsal nights. One will just be a dry run, no costumes, no makeup, and
Right.
go through that. It's very, very rough. A lot of patience is needed for that night. We have a lot to work through because a lot of the stuff we think will work doesn't end up working, but then there's something better and we have to figure out what that is. And then we'll have a friends and family night, which is our first official dress rehearsal, where they get in the costumes, get in the makeup, and then after that, usually we have our media night. So it's also nice too because the actors have like 3 or 4 nights to get comfortable before it's really game on.
Right. Right. So I have a question, and please be honest with this one. What grinds your gears with owning a haunt?
That's a great question. I don't know. I love creativity. I love art, and I think and I just have so many interests and passions for things. But I think the one thing about owning a haunted house is I'm able to fill a lot of those creative outlets because there's so much that goes into a haunted house that you have to have some level of expertise about, you know, whether it be, not just the business side of things with marketing and advertising and owning a business, but, the sound and the lighting, and the
Yeah.
costume design and acting and
Mm-hmm.
management and, entertaining guests. Those are all different aspects, but all of them go into owning a haunted house. And as a haunt owner, um, I couldn't imagine just having one. Even though my background is marketing and advertising, I couldn't imagine that just being my only thing I know about. You have to know about all these different avenues, and fortunately for me, I have interest in all those. Even the makeup team, as a kid, I remember me and my cousin, we took special effects makeup classes just because we were interested in it, and having that knowledge has helped me. But I think it's also what drives me too.
Now, to follow up on Willie's question, what grinds your gears about the industry?
Oh, whoa! You had to go there. Whoa! Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Okay,
I see.
this is an uncensored, gathering, and
You,
I want, you know what? We all have opinions, but yes, what is your opinion on that?
on the industry itself, or things I think about the industry.
let's see what you think about the industry.
Yeah.
Okay, so point blank, I love this industry. I think there's so many great people in this industry. Most of them are all welcoming and willing to help out each other. I've been involved, part of my thing is an entrepreneur. Like I said, I have a lot of different interests. So I've been around a few different industries, and this is the one I connect with the most. Um, but just like with any industry, there's things that could be done better. I think, my biggest thing, being completely 100% honest, is that, and it's not really a dig at anybody or anyone or any company. It's more of a challenge. Like you guys mentioned Transworld earlier.
Yes.
Um, there is unlimited, untapped creative potential for this industry, and I would like to see more of it. I think um, I think the industry vendors and companies should challenge themselves to create things that aren't just run of the mill Halloween haunted house characters, costumes, props, etc.
It's so funny that you say that. I agree with you on that 100%. I think there is untapped potential. I think this is a wild, wild west, and we're trying to figure
Yeah.
out, and I think there is so much for everyone that we shouldn't limit ourselves. And I think that we should have a professional think tank where we could just create in a safe place without any competition or any. And I also think that there should be a mentorship for young hunters coming up where they can have and it's so funny because I spoke to with Spencer Terry about this from the Haunted House Association recently, which he's going to be on the show soon, and we're just talking about some things, and it's so funny because some haunters and owners they think, well, you can't tell us what to do because we've been in for so long and whoop the whoop. But I think I believe that when one survives, we all survive. When we all can
Yep.
come together, we can put our resources together. Do you feel as though that is that a market or an organization that you have within your infrastructure that you guys kind of do when you have your scare actors or someone coming into your business that they can kind of co-create with you? Um, have a safe environment to bring more to your table? What do you guys
So
have?
one of the interesting things about Sir Henry's is that I don't discriminate for anything, whether it be your experience, your age, your whatever. If you have good ideas and you have talent, then I want to utilize that.
Beautiful.
I allow everybody to input ideas, especially on our management team. I want to see their perspective. I want to see how they think and why they think the way they do, because that just makes us better, like you said, at the end of the day.
Now, I got two. I got kind of a two-part question for you. Will you be at Fear Expo this year?
I will not. I will actually be in Las Vegas for my cousin's bachelor party.
Let's go, baby, on that bachelor party because I know Vegas gets hot. Let me just tell you. So it's gonna be a good show over there. We're gonna be there soon.
So actually, this can correlate with the bachelor party as well. But this is a very important question. Will you rock the handlebar mustache?
Oh
so, so yes. So every 4th of July, we do a big 4th of July party here, and I make it a point to have some kind of weird facial hair. So
what?
last year I did the handlebar mustache.
No way. We can see the outline there, but listen. Gerard came on the show the other week with his and revealing it. It shocked the mess out of me. But look, if you
I had a beard down to here. Like, it was.
yeah, he did. He looked like a mountain man. But like, if you could rock the stash and do it with some great confidence, I give you more props.
Yeah.
Props to you. That's dope. But yeah, you will miss out Fear Expo. Let me say this: if Fear Expo is growing, it's amazing.
I heard great things about it. I definitely want to get up there. Hopefully next year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But how was Transworld for you?
Oh, it's fun. We saw a lot of our friends. Got a lot of cool new stuff for this year. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So what did you get? I want to know what was in your shopping bag.
I mean, we bought some Immortal masks, some Shattered Effects masks, a couple costumes. We got one really big thing that we're gonna add to our hunt. I've been talking about getting this for years, and I finally pulled the trigger.
Let's go.
So yeah.
Okay, so mask company. Who's your favorite?
Okay, so they weren't actually at Transworld, but it's a guy's out of Jacksonville. It's called Von Jekyll. I really like his style. I really like his design. And he's not doing like silicone masks or anything, but they're nice latex masks, and I love his style. So if you had asked me, that's my favorite.
Okay, what was the newest thing that you raved about at Transworld?
as far as like something new to like a product line or something.
Yeah.
Nothing really stands out, so I don't know.
Which
what
kind of goes back
specific.
to what you were saying, like having more creativity from the vendors
Yeah,
and more product.
we saw some cool stuff, but nothing that I came back. I'm like, oh my god. Well, I will say Rib Effects, they're putting some really cool stuff out, and kind of uh, being a little more edgy with and taking risks as far as the content that they are creating. So I like that.
Awesome. Well, that's our time for today. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for being on our show today.
Have me.
Before I let you go, I'm going to give you the floor where you can literally let everyone know like what's new, what's next, where they can meet you at, and when's your next media outlet. And I hope we get an invite to that
Okay.
media outlet.
Absolutely.
But yeah, take it away.
Yeah, so Sir Henry Time Trail here in Plant City. Our next event will be our October main haunted trail attraction. You can find us on any of the social medias: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You can check out our website, sirhenryhauntedtrail.com. And also go check out our YouTube channel. That's kind of where we're most active with updates, and you can see some exclusive behind-the-scenes looks, and check out our podcast as well on YouTube and any platform that hosts podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, all that good stuff. So
Wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm so sorry for that. I accidentally clicked something, but I wanted to ask you a question on your podcast. How long has that been going on, and what's your podcast about?
yeah, so we started that I think this past August, and it was one of our show managers, Calvin. It was his idea. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, we'll do it. And it's really just kind of giving our fans more content and more exclusive looks and telling the stories that they don't get to know. From kind of like all the stuff I touched on you guys' show here, just like where I started from, the home haunt years, those early years at Sir Henry's. There's a lot we go into, and there's going to be a lot of content going forward as we build out for our 10th season. So.
Awesome. Well, we're so excited here. Yep, that's scary to check it out. Thank you so much for the time. And
Thank
yeah,
you so much.
you guys, Sir Henry Haunts, check it out. Gerard, that was amazing.
We're still live.
Yeah, we're live. Zach
we are. I thought we ended.
No, we didn't. You crazy? Zach was amazing. They're doing so much, you guys. They're doing so much in Florida, and what I love about what they're doing there is everything that they intentionally put in. It works, and it works for them, and it keeps them relevant and keeps the market growing. And I am so excited. When I first heard about them, you always look at a haunt and say, "Oh, what." I'm excited to see what they got their show and what they got going. But I feel like everything that they do branding wise is so smart, and
Their branding is on it.
Right, and it makes me want to like go and experience the haunt. It makes it, and it's all relatable. It's all reachable to their target audience, and I just love it. And let me just say this: I would love to have Zach back on to talk more about marketing and to even do like a little webinar, like that scary webinar about marketing because he gets it. And I didn't share this with him, but I have a marketing background, but like. From a marketer to a marketer, we can relate, and I can like look at it and be like, okay, from the icons to the illustrations to the logos, even to his overlays with his haunts, he's doing a killer job. So you guys check out Sir Henry Haunts. Go to sirhenryhaunt.com and check it out, see what they're doing. I just can't wait. I can't wait to see what they got going on. So thank you so much, Zach, for being on our show. On that,
you know what? I regret we didn't ask him about the charities he's involved in.
Well, you want to? He's still on.
Will you jump back in?
Hey. What charity are you involved with?
Yeah, so Folds of Honor, Give Kids the World are some of the most recent ones we've worked with, but we've also donated to Wounded Warriors,
Beautiful.
Cancer Foundation, a lot of them. So yeah.
You guys go support them as well. That's good. You have a beautiful heart, a beautiful soul. I'm glad that you're giving back, and I'm glad that there is a great representation in our industry that we can look to. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Awesome. That was great. Look, I'm dope, you guys. I'm so pumped and just so excited for to see a show and to now say I know someone that's really cool in the industry that I can even hit up and say hi to. So that's really cool.
I can't wait to see the stash.
his stash, right? Looking to be a part of a community while getting dish Halloween horror and haunted house happenings. Well, you're in luck. Word on the street is that Yep, That's Scary now has Patreon, accepting like-minded individuals to engage, participate, and have a little bit of fun within our horror family. With exclusive content, merch, and messages from the cast, be invited to some exclusive members-only events and notable horror events. Sign up and be a Patreon member today. Woo! That was like one of my best ad reads right there, man.
I know. Ad reads can. Well, it should be. We've been reading that ad for a minute.
Well,
Let's rewrite it. Rewrite it. Let's just rewrite it so we can fuck it up. Just rewrite it.
Right. But anyways, I just want to show Sir Henry's commercial again because it's incredible and how they did it with that horse. You guys check this out.
That trailer is so badass. You could lose your head over it.
Was that lightning in the sky? Like that was real lightning, or was it CGI? I was like trying to pay close attention, but that's dope. And it's really hard to do theatrical lighting with commercials, but that was dope. But anyways, guys, I just want to say thank you to Zach for the time and Sir Henry Haas for holding it down and representing our industry right. Thank you to you, Gerard, for the time that we have. Thanks to our co-host at home and our production manager, and from you, the listener and the viewers at home. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Yep, That's Scary. Please remember to like, subscribe, and tell everyone about Yep, That's Scary. It is our new industry. I would say our new haunted industry, horror and Halloween industry podcast that's blowing up here. And you guys keep it scary. Wait, we got what? Fear Expo coming up soon. So you guys can check us out there live. I think we're going to be there, right? Mm-hmm. That's our plans to be at Fear Expo live. We're going to have Doug Sheldon on the show too to talk about Fear Expo. We got more horror celebs coming in. I'm just so excited and so blessed to be here. Thank you guys so much, and you guys stay scary. Stop saying that. Let me tell you.
Valentine's Day is coming up. No babies. We have this series on the.
There's some things that really are questionable when I rewatched the Sunday show while I was looking at the script and you was doing some things with your hands. Mom saw that, by the way. You know what? You need Jesus.
Don't show her this show.
No, I know it's uncensored, but man. Anyways, stay scary.